President Donald Trump continues to refuse to admit that humans cause climate change. Meanwhile, his administration has released a report showing the damages that have already been caused by it around the United States. I'm Nathan Seelove, and this is Factually Biased. The Trump administration has released a report showing the damages that have already been caused by climate change. By things like wildfires like the one in California, abnormal weather patterns, hurricanes, and it paints a pretty grim picture. This, of course, comes after the report by the UN that basically said that we have about 12 years in order to solve climate change before the effects become irreversible. Now, a sane person would look at these reports and think, you know what? I have to live on this planet. We should probably do some things to preserve it. Donald Trump, on the other hand, continues to refuse to admit that humans are causing climate change, even though 97% of climate scientists who publish agree that climate change is both real and caused by humans. And the president is even going so far as to find the most arbitrary things to blame these damages on. For example, in California, he attributed the forest fires to not raking the leaves of the forest floor. Now, that would be comical if he weren't the president of the United States. Look, Donald Trump made a mistake when he pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement. The Paris Climate Agreement didn't even go far enough, and he wouldn't even commit to those standards. Look, that was a mistake, and he needs to admit that, but he refuses to admit when he makes a mistake. And the world is literally burning while he refuses to admit that he made a mistake. Look, I don't want to sound dramatic, and I don't want to sound like a radical or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is, scientists are telling us that we have 12 years to do something. And that is a scary thought. So we need to make radical changes in order to protect this planet for both our generation and future generations. And right now, there are proposals in order to do that. The Green New Deal is this idea proposed by up-and-coming freshman Democrats like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the House of Representatives. And the idea is basically to get us completely off of fossil fuels within the next 10 years. And that is not just some arbitrary deadline. That deadline is there because it coincides with the deadline given by the UN. In fact, even that is cutting it a bit close. But that's something that we need to do. Because if we don't, we are putting our entire planet in danger. We're putting our existence in danger. Now, there are people that are calling this plan too extreme or too radical or too left-wing, but this isn't about left versus right. This is about reality versus fantasy. And the reality is, we are in danger. And I don't want to fearmonger or anything, but that doesn't change the facts. We have to fight against climate change. And we cannot half-ass it. We do not have time to half-ass it. So call it extreme, call it left-wing, call it whatever you want. It is the only way that we can preserve this planet. And let me just say, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. This is something that I really do not want to be right about. I wish that I could say that climate change was not real. I wish that it wasn't real. I do not want it to be real. But the fact of the matter is, the evidence is overwhelming. And the evidence cannot be ignored. So we need to support these initiatives, and we need to not let Republicans or moderate Democrats diminish the need for these necessary reforms. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Feel free to give it a share. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you later this week.